Okay, we should be live. Alright, let's. Hold on, I'll just quickly switch over to this tab here. Boy. Just wait for some people to show up. Hold on, is this? Alright. Yep. Didn't bother to just cut out the way part. Well, I'll just skip to right. Oh, it starts here. Okay, whoops. Okay, thank you, Hostius, as in hospitality Hostius. I hope I said your name right. Right, just... if you're watching the stream archive, welcome. But if you're currently watching somehow, welcome. I don't know. Now, just keep in mind that I do have, quite a bit of phlegm in my throat, so prepare for some coughing, I guess. Right, so today we're going to be talking about that Nintendo Direct that happened. Just to say for the record, I'm just going to say my opinion on this Direct. It was just alright. It wasn't spectacular, but it wasn't horseshit either. Just the main problem that I did have with it was that there was just way too many JRPGs and farming games. I mean, I guess the announcements that was shown off were pretty cool, but overall, this Direct was just alright, honestly. Right, so we're gonna go to the first announcement, which was hold on. The name of this Fire Emblem game. Alright, doo-ba-doo-boo-boo. Oh, it's Fire Emblem Engage. I mean, honestly, I'm not really a massive Fire Emblem fanatic, but this definitely does look like a pretty solid game. Like, I feel like the female protagonist I would probably play as if I were to pick up Fire Emblem Engage, which I do kind of doubt because I am not super massive on Fire Emblem, but still a pretty solid announcement to start the Direct. Okay, Yoshiaki Koizumi coming in. Of course, this limited edition, this special edition, because why not? Alright, so the first announcement was It Takes Two. I believe this game won Game of the Year in 2021, I believe. Yeah, I think this game feels like it should be on Switch because it's pretty much a game that was designed for two people to play at the same time. It's such a really well designed game from what I've heard. I mean, maybe it might get me to play it with a friend or something. And it definitely is the game that requires types of teamwork. A pretty good announcement, honestly. Okay, do boo 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 boo. Okay, pretty sure this is yeah, it's Fatal Frame. I think this was a re-release of an older entry, I believe. I mean, not too bad, honestly. Yeah, the game was originally released in 2008. Of course, it's an older entry. Okay, some Xenoblade Chronicles 3 news, which is just linked to the expansion pack. I'm not too big on Xenoblade, but if you're a huge fan of Xenoblade 3, then this may be something that you may like. If not, then I don't know what to tell you. To get drawn in. Okay, SpongeBob SquarePants: The Cosmic Shake. This is an announcement that this is a game that I'm definitely a little cautious about, but I definitely think that it looks spectacular. I mean, if THQ Nordic is actually putting in a lot of love and attention, as well as paying homage to the entire SpongeBob series in this game, then I think that it's definitely going to be a pretty great SpongeBob game, honestly. If it turns out to be bad, then I'm going to be upset at Nickelodeon for not making THQ Nordic put in more effort. I mean, if THQ Nordic just published the game and it wasn't just the developers. I mean, obviously the developers care about SpongeBob.
Launching on Nintendo Switch next year. Fit or instruct box with
Fitness Boxing, Fist of the North Star. I believe this is just a spin-off of Fitness Boxing, but just made for those who just love action stuff. I mean, the Fitness Boxing games are pretty great, but they do feel a little samey to me. Maybe this might be a worthwhile game.
It's in this hilarious. This is
right, Oddballers. I have never heard of this game, but definitely does look like fun, honestly. Okay, Tunic. Now this is definitely one of the more well-known indie darlings as of recent. It definitely does look like a pretty fun game, honestly. I might pick it up. Because it actually looks pretty good for an indie game. I mean, it's a little bit like Zelda in a sense, but also not at the same time. I'm sorry for any people who are super interested in playing Tunic or have already played Tunic. I'm not sure if it's actually fully released yet. Feel free to let me know in the comments if I'm wrong and it's actually out and it's actually good. But overall, I think this game does look pretty good. And I think it might actually be fun. Okay, Front Mission remakes. Front Mission 1 and 2. I have not played the Front Mission games, so I can't really form an opinion on this at all. But Front Mission 3, for Front Mission fans, this is definitely a pretty good thing. Right?
It's a wonder. After nearly 20 years of beloved
Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life. Our first farming game. Now, if they just had like one or two of these, I feel like this might have been a pretty decent direct. But that and Story of Seasons definitely looks like a pretty good high quality game. Honestly, I think I might play it.
Story of Seasons.
Yeah. Okay, and some Splatoon stuff. So this Splatfest this time is what would you bring to a deserted island? Gear, grub, or fun? I have no idea what I would pick. I do not own Splatoon 3 yet. I definitely do want to pick it up though, because I played the Splatfest demo. It was a lot of fun, let me tell you. Okay, but yeah, I do not know which I would pick. Like, it's a pretty tough choice, honestly. Like, I know people would probably just choose fun just for Big Man. But, yeah, pretty good choices for this for the Splatfest. Okay, some... Octopath Traveler 2. I have not played Octopath Traveler 1, but I definitely think that Octopath Traveler 2 is definitely going to be a great JRPG for all you JRPG fans that's out there. It definitely looks like a pretty great game that Square made. Right, let's just play one through.
Octopath. You.
Alright, and we have Fae Farm. I mean, yeah, this is another farming game. I mean, it looks alright. I'm not one write-off farming games, keep in mind. But, yeah, this is probably where it's starting to get... It's like, another farming game, cool. Needed more of those.
Celebrate.
Alright, Theatrhythm Final Bar Line. It's mainly a rhythm game that's focused more on, Final Fantasy stuff. Like, they have...
Enjoy icon.
Like, oh my god, One-Winged Angel! Holy shit! I mean, I definitely do like, with myself some rhythm games. I'm far from being the biggest Square Enix fan, but this definitely does look like a pretty, solid rhythm game. Though the graphics are a little, hit or miss for me. Maybe it's just because, these characters look a little cheap, honestly. Like, they belong in a phone game. Honestly, not on Switch. But hearing that this game is getting, DLC, from franchises like Nier and Octopath and Live Alive, it's definitely pretty cool to hear. Right? Alright, the main star of the show! Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I definitely think that this game might be one of the biggest standout Switch titles. It looks amazing, and I think Ubisoft is definitely showing their worth for this title. Honestly, I think this will be a really great Mario plus Rabbids game. And I also do know that they did announce that Rayman will actually be part of the game's DLC. Which, by the way, I'm happy that Ubisoft actually putting Rayman in the game through the DLC, because it just feels like it makes sense, because many people already know that the Rabbids started out as enemies for, I believe, the cut Rayman 4, the cancelled Rayman 4, I believe, before they would repurpose into a entirely different game for Rayman, before spawning off into their own little series. So yeah, I feel like it definitely does make sense. Honestly. But yeah, pretty amazing looking game. And I might pick it up. Because, I'm not sure if you know this, but, hold on, we just pull it out. This game here, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, this was the first Switch game that I ever owned and picked up for the Switch. And it's a pretty good game, honestly. It had, pretty great mechanics, as well as some spectacular music courtesy of Grant Kirkhope. Like, huge shoutouts to Grant Kirkhope for making the music for Mario plus Rabbids, as well as returning for Sparks of Hope, along with two other amazing musicians. So, I definitely think this might be a pretty standout game for Switch. Right, and
Inhuman Nintendo's with the launchers.
Alright,
Rune Factory 3 returns on Nintendo Switch.
Okay, Rune Factory 3 special. Rune Factory fans, get ready to get out your virtual pitchforks. I don't know like how this looks. It just looks very cheap. Honestly, just something about how the characters move in the areas just makes it look cheap, honestly.
Take a break from among other relaxing activities.
Just feels like they don't belong on in this area, honestly. Just feels like the characters themselves don't belong in this area, honestly. I just feel like it's just a little cheap and generic, honestly. Like, again, it feels like a mobile phone game ported to Switch, not a game that was made exclusively for Switch. I mean, I'm not opposed to Rune Factory, far from it, but this does feel a little cheap, honestly, for my liking. But a new entry in Rune Factory is definitely pretty good for Rune Factory fans, so I hope you Rune Factory fans are really excited for a new entry. Right, more Nintendo 64 games! Now, listen, I love me some good old Nintendo 64, and the titles that I definitely did pick this time around are pretty good. Right, Pilotwings 64, the definitive Nintendo 64 game. I'm kidding, but it's still a pretty solid Nintendo 64 game. It was one of the launch titles for Nintendo 64, so it makes a lot of sense as much as Mario 64 deserves to be on Nintendo Switch Online, Nintendo 64. Mario Party 1, 2, and 3. Yes. The original 3 Mario Party games on Nintendo 64 are one of the most loved Mario Parties of recent memory. So, I'm glad that we have options for more Mario Party on Switch. And besides, I definitely think that the Mario Party games deserve... These Mario Party games deserve a second chance, because I feel like Nintendo just kind of forgotten how Mario Party worked originally. I mean, of course, Superstars is definitely a great return to form, no doubt about that. I mean, who knows? Maybe this Mario Party on the classic Mario Parties on Switch might actually encourage Nintendo to make things more like traditional Mario Party. Of course, Mario Party Superstars is, of course, still a phenomenal game, honestly. Alright, Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 coming.
Okay.
Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 on Switch. For big Pokemon fans, this is a pretty great announcement, because the Pokemon Stadium games are one of the most loved games on Nintendo 64. And I have not played Pokemon Stadium at all, but I definitely do think that they are definitely pretty good games, even if I'm not a massive Pokemon fan. Okay, 1080 Snowboarding. A pretty good one, honestly. Pretty good choice. And Excite Bike 64. Yes. Because we all need more Excite Bike. Who doesn't like Excite Bike? If you don't like Excite Bike, what's wrong with you? Right, and the last one they showed off. I can only imagine Nintendo basically selling half their liver just to pay for the GoldenEye license, just to put this on here. I mean, if there was a Nintendo 64 game that deserved to be on Nintendo Switch Online, it was GoldenEye. It had to be GoldenEye. Like, people love GoldenEye on Nintendo 64. It's one of the best Nintendo 64 games, and one of the biggest reasons to pick up a Nintendo 64 back then. Like, and let me just tell you, Rare did a phenomenal job making GoldenEye back in, like, the 90s or so. It's amazing. It's still one of the best Nintendo 64 games out there, and it led to a spiritual successor, Perfect Dark, being created. Okay, coming soon with online play. That is definitely really great to hear, so if you want to play GoldenEye online, now you can.
Why not mix best life on the new Purple Continent?
Alright, Various Day Life, another JRPG. This looks like, hey, not spectacular, but again, it just feels like another JRPG.
Land on a strange planet.
Factorio, this one does look like a decent one. It doesn't look like a JRPG, it feels more like a, a tycoon sim. I'm not one to write off tycoons. They can definitely have their worth, honestly. If that's your sort of thing, then good on you.
It's an art museum.
This one, Ib. This is a pretty interesting one. It seems like a bit of a survival horror title. That's like a RPG Maker style game. Definitely think it might be a pretty good one, honestly. I have not played it, so if anybody has played it before, or if it was actually released before, then please let me know, but I definitely think this one might be interesting. Who knows? Okay, Mario Strikers Battle League. Pauline and Diddy Kong. Finally, this game is good.
Plus, more gear and an...
Oh my god, Mario's wearing a barrel?
Another stadium.
Oh. Another stadium? Yeah, I mean, I have not played Mario Strikers Battle League at all, but I definitely do think it is at least a solid enough game. It's not spectacular, but still, it's nice to see that it does get a bit of support, but still, the free content updates that Nintendo does, it's kind of getting a bit old at this point. Like, I think that if they were to progress further with the Switch, they would probably just have to listen to fans and just actually fully release their games, rather than just, hide the fact that their games need more time in the oven. Right. Oh my god, it's Genshin Impact! I'm kidding, it's Altaria Riser 3. Yeah, it definitely does like a pretty good game, but it just reminds me of Genshin in a way. Stylistically wise. Alright, oh, whoops.
Wave.
Right, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. They showed off 2 tracks, but, I'll quickly go over them here. Alright, Merry Man from Mario Kart Tour. Again, I have not played Mario Kart Tour, so I would not know how this track plays. For any of those who, have played a ton of Tour, please let me know. But, yeah, this might be a pretty, good track if you just want to play, a track based on the holidays. Alright, Peach Gardens. As your local Mario Kart DS fan who grew up playing Mario Kart DS, this is, of course, my favorite Mario Kart of all time because it was my first one and I grew up on it. And let me tell you, Peach Gardens is definitely a pretty solid choice. I used to thought it was okay back in when I played it on the DS, but now I think it's a pretty underrated track, honestly. Pretty glad to see this one back. I mean, obviously, I think Nintendo just needs a little more time, making the rest of the courses. I think it's obvious. But overall, yeah, pretty good selection so far. Right? Nintendo Switch Sports. Oh my god, they're adding golf! Holy crap! They should have had... They needed more development time for fucking golf. I mean... Look, I'm not saying that Nintendo Switch Sports is a bad game, far from it. I think it's a, pretty good casual game. I mean, many people who are diehard Nintendo fans would be like, this is not Wii Sports, and I'm like, yeah, you're right, it's not, it's Nintendo Switch Sports, idiot. No, I'm just kidding. Like, I definitely do think it is at least a pretty solid game overall, but still, the problems it had with launch should have been fixed from the beginning. But hey, at least we have golf. Okay, and we have 21 holes from the Wii Sports series included. I assume, just like... So that means, what, like, most of them are just gonna be from, NES Golf. And, Elimination Survival Golf. That definitely, is a pretty, cool one. It kind of reminds me of, the Rush Golf thing in Mario Golf Super Rush, honestly. Alright. And Shigeru Miyamoto. My main man, Shigeru Miyamoto. He mentions the Mario movie still being made. It's coming out in 2023. He talks about, Super Nintendo, saying Super Nintendo World's coming out in, Hollywood. Talks about Pikmin Blue for 3 minutes straight. 8, casually announces Pikmin 4 is officially coming out in 2023. And leaves. What a Chad. Now, for real, I definitely do think that, Miyamoto showing up is definitely pretty cool. But, even if it wasn't too much, at least Pikmin 4 was confirmed to be real and actually coming out. So, I'm definitely looking forward to next year when it comes to Pikmin. I mean, I haven't played 1, 2, or 3, so I wouldn't know how those games played, but still, Pikmin 4 coming out and officially confirmed to be real. Thank you. Right, Just Dance 2023. I don't care. It's another Just Dance. Right, Harvestella, a JRPG and another farming game. See, this one's different because it's a JRPG and a farming game. it looks good, but again, like, I feel like the farming stuff and JRPG stuff should have been announced separately from this direct, not just as a part of this direct. Like, what on earth did Square pay you, Nintendo? Right, Bayonetta 3. Now, this is definitely a pretty standout title for this direct. I'm glad this game is getting a bit more love. And it's coming out in October. That's definitely pretty good. Perfect timing, honestly. Alright,
Fantasy mystery abounds from the creators of Danganronpa.
Oh, this game, which is, Raincode from the creators of Danganronpa. I have not played Danganronpa, so I want to know how those games work. If anybody, who was watching, is a Danganronpa fan, and if you're actually really interested in Raincode, then I hope that you, will have fun with this game when it comes out. Alright, it comes out in spring. Right. Alright, now the main event. It's whining. Resident Evil Village. Oh my god, they're bringing Resident Evil's Village to Switch? That's insane! Fuck! Ugh. So, yeah. I mean, look, I will not deny, Resident Evil Village is a really amazing looking game. I have not played Resident Evil Village because it looks like I own a PlayStation 5, or a beyond beefy computer. So Nintendo basically, I feel like just having I think it's obvious by now, I hate cloud versions on Switch. I'm getting really, really sick and tired of them. Like, at least everything I said from like a few months ago about the Kingdom Hearts on Switch thing being cloud versions applies here. It does make some sense, but I still fucking hate it. Yeah, just like if Capcom, instead of natively porting Resident Evil Village to Switch or realizing, hey, this game is too much for the Switch to handle, I don't think we can do this, they just decided cloud. Like, bruh, no. Capcom, no. Like, I think you should have seen that people do not like cloud versions of games. And look, I'm not against cloud gaming. I think there's potential for it. It's just that if there's a big title like Resident Evil Village on Switch and it's only being a cloud version instead of being natively ported to the platform, then I think it's fair for me to whine. Like, come on. I do not think that this was a smart thing, Capcom. Like, look, I have tons of respect towards Resident Evil. I have not played any of the Resident Evil games, but I definitely want to get into it. But this is just lazy. Like, I'm pretty sure many people know that cloud games on Switch run like shit. Especially if you have okay internet. Like, not everybody has high-end internet. Like, come on. Look, if you want to get horny for Lady Dimitri, for Resident Evil Village, just get a powerful console that can run the game. Like, this is one of the dumbest things that Capcom has done. I mean, yeah, there's a free demo, at least. I mean, I'm not gonna play the demo because I am not supportive of stuff like this. Like, look, I do not hate Resident Evil Village. Far from it. Because I have not played it. But this was dumb. And, well, at least the DLC is included, which is nice. And Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes on Switch. They're also cloud versions. Ugh! Like, come on! Like, why did they make them cloud versions? Like, why? I would have preferred them if they would just actually just not put them on Switch at all if they couldn't run on Switch. Why? Oh, my God. I am pissed at Capcom. And Resident Evil has this all... Come on. I mean, I can't really complain too much. I mean, we already do have the older Resident Evil titles, and they are still really great games, but still, I am upset. I'm upset at these versions. No, like, I think these are not worth it. No. No, just no. Just don't get these versions, guys. Please, just don't. We should not be supporting cloud games on Switch if they have been proven to run like piss. Alright.
Line to avenge your father.
Okay, Sifu. This definitely looks like a pretty cool action-oriented game. Not too many
Young and ambitious, exhilarating.
Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. This looks like they took Final Fantasy VII Remake and just brought it over to Switch. I'm very curious if they actually are going to bring Final Fantasy VII Remake to Switch, because this definitely looks like Final Fantasy VII Remake in a way. Hey, it definitely looks pretty on par. Honestly, I think it might be pretty good. Honestly, but I do not know. I am not a die-hard Final Fantasy fan. And I have played quite a bit of Final Fantasy VII, the original version, at the very least, on Switch. So, yeah. Okay, Radiant Silvergun. And I have not played this before, so who knows, maybe it might be good. Endless Dungeon. This looks like a pretty interesting game. Who knows, maybe it might be good. Hey, Tales of Symphonia Remastered. This... I'm definitely glad that Tales of Symphonia has gotten another chance at redemption. Like, if you are a huge fan of Tales of Symphonia, then I definitely think that this might be something for you. Like, if you're just a big fan of Tales, then give this a shot. It might be worth your time. Who knows? And who knows, maybe it might convince Bandai Namco to make a brand new Tales game. Like, just, who really knows? Alright. Okay, let's see some more announcement stuff. Okay, let's see them. Life is Strange Arcadia Bay Collection. I have not played this. I have not played Life is Strange, so I can't have an opinion on that. Okay, Romancing Saga Minstrel Song Remastered. Another JRPG. Whoopty fucking do. Lego Brick Tales. This definitely does look like a pretty, cool looking game. It kind of reminds me of Captain Toad in a way. Hey, this definitely does look like a pretty cool, game, honestly. Might check it out sometime. Disney Speedstorm. It's made by Gameloft. That means it's bad. I'm kidding. It does look pretty decent. Though I am cautious because Gameloft is just, hold on, getting a sneeze. Gameloft is, pretty notorious for making, okay titles. Okay, Fall Guys Season 2. I have played, quite a lot of Fall Guys, a little recently. So, I might check it out. Later. Here, when it releases. And Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. I have not played Kirby's Return to Dreamland, so this might be a good opportunity for me to check out what I've been missing during the Wii days. Like I really do love playing the Kirby games, and I'm glad that Kirby's getting a lot more love for his 30th anniversary. Yeah, but I'm just very glad about that. Okay, coming out in February. And some people have actually been saying, And this is just a lazy port, hastily port over to Switch. It's just like The Last of Us Part 1. Who said that? Hey, look, The Last of Us Part 1 is like $70 on PS5, when you can get the PS4 version that works on PS5 for a significantly lower price. This game makes more sense because does it look like this thing has a Wii disc slot in it? Does it look like it? Does it? Of course it doesn't. It doesn't. Right. And of course, more information on Breath of the Wild 2. It still, didn't show off too much, but still, it looks really great and very on par with Breath of the Wild. I think this might be, a pretty standout game for next year. And the official name? The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. This is definitely a really amazing looking game. People already know that Breath of the Wild is one of the best Zelda games that came out in recent memory. And of course, it deservedly won Game of the Year in 2017. And Tears of the Kingdom looks like an amazing evolution of Breath of the Wild. Like, just huge shoutouts to the Zelda team for making this game. And official release date at May the 12th of 2023, which means it's coming out a little sooner than expected. And that's it. That's all. So overall thoughts. There was just, like, some of the titles were just filler. But overall, if it wasn't for stuff like the GoldenEye stuff, as well as some of the Nintendo announcements, I would have said that this Direct was very, very mid. But thankfully, there was Nintendo announcement stuff. So this Direct, it was alright. Like, not amazing, not terrible, but it's not the worst thing out there. Like, we've seen way worse, trust me, guys. Like, anyway, so, right, I want to hear, your guys' thoughts on, the title. And on this Direct. Sorry. Yeah. So, what did you guys, overall think about, the Direct when you first watched it? I stayed up until 12 a.m. midnight for this. I'm sorry. I had to see Rabbids. I had to see the stuff. Also, I did also find out that, the Nintendo Japanese version also showed off Sonic Frontiers, which, I mean, yeah, kind of fair enough. I mean, us Americans already know, a good chunk about what's coming in Sonic Frontiers, so not the biggest deal in the world, but still a little sad. I guess Japan hadn't been getting too many announcements. Anyway, how long have I been streaming? Nearly 40 minutes. I think that might be a good time to end the stream. Right, I really hope you all enjoyed the stream and me talking about the titles here. Anyway, I'm probably just going to relax for a bit, maybe get some work done on my projects. Alright, without further ado, see ya.